Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. Hi, if you have been here before, welcome back. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Erin, and this is my channel where I like to talk about all things beauty as well as entertainment, movies, TV shows, all that good stuff. I also do throw in some content with books. And if you're on the makeup side, I also do some panning content as well. So if you like any of those topics, then this is definitely the place for you. Today, you guys, we're going to be talking about part 2 for a video I did, I think about a week or two ago. I uploaded it, and it is movies. I did movies that I hate that everyone else seems to love, or in general, people seem to really like. So this is the opposite now, the flip side. Here are 5 movies, and I'm centering on horror movies for this video. 5 movies that I love that it seems that everyone else hates. So either these movies are panned by critics, or these movies are just in general not very well loved, at least from my observation in the horror community here on YouTube. Either way, I've seen some of these movies get a little bit of hate, or just are not thought of as very good movies, but I really love them. And that could be from either nostalgia, or I just, like, I grew up watching them, or in general, I just had a fun time with it. Even if it's not a good movie, I just enjoyed it. It's like a guilty pleasure. So here are the movies that I really love that everyone else. If you like videos like this, definitely hit the like button. And if you like video or content like this, definitely think about subscribing. Hit the subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it, and I'm sure you will enjoy the content that I'm coming out with. I would hate for you to miss any more videos like this, because I am going to be doing a part 2 to these videos, but with movies that are not just horror related, in different genres. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. So definitely what ended up happening is I made a list of my 5 horror movies that I love that everyone else hates, but I lost the paper, and then I ended up making a second list. So I have now 2 lists here, and so I got some of the same movies on the second list, but then I thought of some different ones, so I didn't want to just toss out both lists. So I'm going to do some honorable mentions before I get into my 5 ones that are actually on the list. So these ones are just kind of honorable mentions. But yeah, so first honorable mention is going to be the movie Phantasm. This one I grew up with. I didn't know that a lot of people didn't like this one. Maybe it's because it's dated, but I grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I think because I have older sisters that are 6 and 9 years older than me, they watched this one, and so we ended up watching it all together as like a family, and also my mom as well. So it's just one I grew up with, but I have heard some people say they don't really like this first movie, Phantasm. I really always did, and I like the second one as well. I haven't seen the other ones in the franchise, but the first and second one I really, really like. So that's a movie that I really do love. I think there's an iconic villain, and it's pretty creepy. But I've heard from people, or seen in different videos or ranking videos that involve Phantasm, that this movie is not as well loved or well received of a franchise as I originally thought. So that's first honorable mention there. Okay, so the second honorable mention is going to be, let me see, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Okay, so this is another one I grew up with. This is part of that 2000s or late or 90s horror movies, that kind of genre and style that I really, really enjoyed. I think that's kind of my comfort place there, because I grew up watching that movie and watching movies from the late 90s and 2000s. I really like, my favorite I would say probably are 80s and 90s, but 2000 movies as well I really love. So this one is just one that I grew up with, and I didn't know that some people did not like this movie, but I can understand their viewpoint. It's not the most well done slasher movie, but I really enjoy it. I always have a good time with it, and I think that overall it's entertaining. So that's my second honorable mention. And my last honorable mention, which this one might be, I think it's not as well loved, but I always enjoy this one actually, and the more I watch it, the more I kind of like it, even though there are some definite flaws in it. And that is going to be Friday the 13th part 7, the one with Carrie, the Carrie knockoff versus Jason. This one, when I first saw it, I didn't love it, but the more I watch it, and in comparison with the other Friday the 13th movies, some other ones, this one is actually not that bad. I actually really enjoy it. Some things get on my nerves. I can be nitpicky, of course, with it and point out some of the flaws, but overall, when you compare it to some of the other ones, like Jason's on a boat to New York for an hour, like, it's not that bad. So for that one, I see a lot of people say it's kind of in the middle in a lot of people's list when they rank their Friday the 13th, or they just really don't like this one. I enjoy it. It's like a guilty pleasure. There you go. Those are the honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and get into my 5 movies that I love that everyone else seems to. So the first one on my list is, and these are not ranked in any particular order. I just wrote them down. So the first one on my list is going to be Children of the Corn. Children of the Corn is a movie that I just grew up watching with my family. I just think it's a classic. In my mind, it's a classic, but I've seen that some people don't like this movie that much. I think it's really, really creepy. I think the ideal of the kids killing their parents in the town, just taking over, is very scary, very creepy, very much, you know, almost got that demonic feel to it, which is kind of hinted at throughout with the, you know, the man that walks behind the road, which also connects to Stephen King's greater universe, which might be someone, what is his name? Randall Flagg. It's possibly him. I just love all of that. I just love all the connections. And even as a kid, when I watched this one, I always loved it. I always thought it was creepy. I always loved Malachi and Isaac. Those were my 2 favorite, like, villains growing up. Well, not my favorites, but 2 of my ones that I really liked. So probably be one of my favorites. I just thought Isaac was so creepy and Malachi was so scary as a kid. And then growing up, my love for it has not changed. I still watch it pretty frequently. I'm gonna say maybe like once or twice a year, and I never get tired of it. I love the music in it as well. I think it has one of the creepiest, like, background music soundtrack ever because of the kind of kids singing type of thing. Very, very creepy. And overall, it might not be the most well acted or the most well shot movie, but I enjoy it every single time I watch it. So that one is one that I can see where people are coming from when they're talking about they don't like this movie, but overall, I really enjoyed this one. I always do. It's a guilty pleasure. Right along. Right. The next one on my list here is actually going to be Child's Play 3. This is another one that I didn't even know people did not like this one that much, but I guess when you do compare it to the other movies in the Child's Play franchise, maybe. But this is one I always like. It's always at the top for me. I do like the second one the most from the whole franchise, Child's Play 2, but the third one I really like. I don't think it's a bad movie. You know, especially in comparison to the ones like Seed of Chucky, you know, I don't think it's that bad. And I didn't know people didn't like this one. I guess the setting of the military school, people really don't like that setting, and I've heard from people that it's boring, but I always have fun with this one. I think there's some really great one-liners from Chucky in this. Actually, it's a little bit of a funniness to it as well. There's quite a bit of humor. That's the way I look at it or take it. I think that the ending is really awesome and fantastic and cool, albeit maybe a little bit unrealistic, but I just think the movie overall is fun, and so I enjoy it every single time. And I didn't know people didn't like this one until I started watching like ranking lists on YouTube, or just, you know, hearing people's opinion of this third installment in the Child's Play franchise. But I've always liked it. I think it's a really great movie and I enjoy it, and I like that they brought back Andy in this one. I just like this movie a lot. So this one, okay, I love. I'm moving right along. I'm gonna go next into number 4. I think this is number 4, right? Yes, I might have actually, oh god, I think I did 6. Alright, here's another honorable mention. Let me throw in another honorable mention. Friday the 13th, the first one. I did not know a lot of people did not like this one. In comparison with some of the other ones, right, it's not as good, but I always like the first Friday the 13th. I like it a lot. So this one is like 3.5, I guess. I always liked the original Friday the 13th, maybe because I grew up with it, but yeah, I didn't know a lot of people didn't like that one. Okay, let me go into my real number 4, and this movie is Leprechaun. I always liked Leprechaun. Okay, so I grew up, again, here we go with the I grew up with it. I'm sorry I said that probably like to every movie, but I did, and it's one that me and my sisters always watched growing up. And albeit now that I've watched it as an adult, I don't think it's that good. I'll admit, it's not that great. It's almost like they took more of a comedic route versus a scary route, especially for this, pretty much the whole franchise. But the first one is the scariest out of all of them, I will say. And it's even not very scary at all. But as a kid, it is kind of creepy, right? But it's one I can always have fun with. The acting's not the best, and the storyline is not the best either. But it's just like it's cemented itself for me as one that I can always put on, enjoy it, have a good time with it, not take it too serious. And I like it. I really do like it. And I know a lot of people don't like this one, for reasons mentioned already, like that it's not scary enough, it's taken to more of a comedic route, it's not the best acting, maybe the story is not that strong. But overall, I think this is one that a lot of people know about for a reason, and I just like it. I just enjoy it. I have a good time with it, and it's on my list here. A movie that I love, for sure. What do you guys think about that one? Yes, no? I did do a review of the movie Leprechaun on St. Patrick's Day, so if you want to check out that review, I will link it in the description box. Just click on the link to go to it. I don't think I've reviewed any of these other movies though, so I probably need to get on that. Alright, and so my last one, which is going to be number 5, movies that I love that everyone else seems to hate, horror edition, is going to be the Amityville Horror, but the original one from 1979. So, I didn't know a lot of people didn't like this one either. I really like this. I think this could be considered and cemented into a classic. It did spawn a whole franchise, which I've never seen any of the sequels to the Amityville Horror, the original one. I've seen the original Amityville Horror from 1979, and I've seen the remake. Those are the only two I've seen revolving around the Amityville house and that franchise. So I've only seen the original and the remake, and I like both of them actually. And I know a lot of people like the remake more than the original, and I like them equally. I think both of them are good. I don't put one over the other, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think both of them are good for their different reasons. But apparently a lot of people do not like the original one from 1979. I didn't know that. I think that it has its moments, and it definitely has some very iconic moments for sure. It does have some great scares, and I think overall the acting is pretty good. I like the characters. I like this one. I guess people don't like this one. Maybe it's more dated or boring, or you just can't get into it for some reason. I don't know. But this one I always liked, and maybe again it's because I watched it as a kid, but I also watched the remake, and I think I just like both of them equally. I think they both brought something different to it. I think the remake is a little bit more well, like quality wise, maybe, I don't know, but I think both of them are good. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. What will be your list of movies that you love that other people seem to hate? Let me know down in the comment section. I would love to read your list, or your movies that you love, or you have a special place in your heart for them, or they just, you know, they pull at your nostalgia heartstrings, but other people just seem to really don't not like them. So let me know down below in the comment section. I would really like to know, and I will do more videos like this in the future. My next list is going to be more centered around movies from all different kinds of genres that I really love that everyone else seems to hate, and I will also do the opposite for the different genres, movies that I hate that everyone else seems to love. So look forward to those 2 videos coming out soon, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a great time with it, and I will check you guys out another time very soon. Stay safe. Adios.